Hello everybody and welcome back to Jesse's Barbershop. My name is Jesse and my hair is very dry right now. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how to deal with dry hair. But before we get into that, if you're interested in men's hair tips, tricks, don't forget to hit the subscribe. You know what? That. Here's what we'll do. We'll talk about what dry hair is and how to deal with it, but don't hit the subscribe button yet. Don't hit the like button yet. Watch the video first. If it helps out and you like it and you want to see more, then hit that subscribe button and drop a like. But I mean, other than that, hopefully you get something. You can just leave if you want to too. Can't stop you. Okay, everybody, dry hair. So first of all, before we start getting into how to address and fix and approach dry hair, the first thing that I like to do is just make sure that you actually have dry hair. Because what is dry hair? To me, it's hair that is unable to retain moisture, because a lot of people don't really see hair this way, but you can think of hair like little moisture containers. There's literally what we call the cuticle layer, which are basically scales that kind of sit flat on each other that make up the shaft of your hair, that if they are nice and flat, they will retain the moisture that your hair has. If they're open and porous, they will not, like most things. And this has happened enough in my professional career where people will come in with super coarse, like kinky hair, and they'll say, oh, my hair is so dry, I can't get it to feel soft. But softness and moisturized are different. For example, say Asian people and like Mexican people pretty commonly will have like coarser, thicker hair types, and oftentimes wiry. Wiry is the word I'm looking for. It feels very wiry. They'll come in and be like, it's super dry. I'll look at it and be like, well, I mean, no, it's not. It's just very coarse and tough and rough. So it kind of feels wiry, but the problem isn't dryness or moisture, right? So the way that you're going to want to approach it would be different. So in this video, we're going to be talking about somebody with actually dry hair. So what does that mean? Again, hair that doesn't retain moisture. So the classic example is if from your roots to mid shafts, you've got really nice, smooth, silky hair, and then towards the ends, it's like frizzy. That's a more common case of dryness, where literally the ends of the hair, the cuticle layer, is open and has a harder time retaining the moisture and the natural oils that sit in your hair. If you don't have dry hair, but you have that kinkier, wiry hair type, I mean, it's not really a problem. That's just your hair type. Whereas dry hair is more of a legitimate problem as opposed to just a difficult hair type to deal with. And problems can be fixed if addressed properly. So that's kind of the idea behind this video. And I'd like to start off by pointing out that most people will kind of just default to putting oils in the hair because, scalp produces oils, it goes in the hair, it's supposed to be good for you. But that's oftentimes not necessarily the best solution to dry hair. We're going to be touching on a concept that is just generally kind of the best idea for addressing any sort of dry hair. And that is what I'm going to call product buffering. Think about it this way. Imagine firewood. If it's perfectly dry and there's no moisture in it, it will light on fire easily, right? But if you have firewood that's soaked and there's a lot of moisture inside of it, it'll be a lot harder for fire to have an effect on the wood itself because it's going through the moisture before it's actually burning the wood. What is this going to make? We're going to keep going. I don't know if this is going to make any sense, but product buffering with hair is the same concept. So your hair just naturally, let's say it just has, natural 5 level. It has a natural level 5 moisture content rating. 0 would be it's super dry and damaged and brittle and breaking, and 10 would be like it's perfectly moisturized and you don't need to worry about it. What using product as a buffer can do is bring that moisture level up to a 7, 8, or 9. Was I out of focus this whole time? That's what the monitor's for. Whatever, fuck it. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so putting product into your hair will take you from that natural level, wherever your hair moisture levels sit naturally, and bring you up to a consistent higher level of moisture content within your hair. And what this does, tying it back into my terrible firewood analogy, is external factors like weather and heat and humidity will have a harder time affecting your natural hair if there's that buffer of product that's moisturizing your hair. Does that make sense? So if your hair is just naturally too dry without any product in it, if you input moisture into the hair shaft, the things that would be causing your dry hair are going to have a lesser effect. That's why I kind of call it product buffering. And in some of my videos, I've explained, like when you're blow drying, that's huge, right? Because even more relevant to my firewood analogy, you're literally blasting your hair with heat. So it's important that there's something in there that can burn off and absorb the heat before your actual shaft of your hair does. So that's kind of the first thing that I recommend trying. And so many people are like, oh, I'm struggling with dry hair. Well, do you use any product or anything to help out with that? Well, no. Well, tough shit. That's That's your hair type. It's not, this is how your natural hair type is responding to its environments and the way that you're treating it. So if you're not going to do anything to counteract that, well, then you got dry hair. So that's why I say the easiest thing you can do is apply that product buffer, because just as a general rule, it gives your hair a little bit more to hang on to because it's naturally having a hard time retaining just the natural oils from your hair. Now, what you should use to achieve that really depends on your hair type. And the best thing you can do is experiment or ask your stylist. But the most important thing is don't just randomly slap in an oil. And I can personally attest to this because with my hair, if I just have my natural hair like unblow dry, just kind of tied up the way I had it in the intro for this video, if I just put an oil in my hair, what happens is from the roots to the mid shafts, it's perfectly healthy and doesn't need that. So it becomes super oily and weighted, and the frizzy dryness towards the ends has a harder time retaining that moisture anyways. So it just kind of ends up being like super heavy towards the roots and just like shiny and ugly towards the ends. So in my case, and in all of my styling videos that I've done on this channel so far, I use an element of that. I'm doing things like blow drying curl creams into my hair because my hair responds better to a cream that, you know, fully saturates rather than an oil that just kind of sits on top. And my next piece of advice is probably going to be a little bit controversial. This might be my first controversial piece. But you know, people say like blow drying is bad for your hair, and people still in my comments are telling me that blow drying is bad, even though they're 14 and they read it on BuzzFeed. And I've been doing this as a professional hairstylist for the past 7 years. People will still tell me that blow drying your hair is bad. And that is because they're correct. In a way, if you're blow drying your hair properly, it can actually be incredibly healthy and beneficial to your hair. Here's why. Remember how I talked about those cuticle layers that open and close and retain moisture? When you're blow drying your hair properly with, say, like a boar bristle round brush blow dry technique, what you're doing when you're brushing through the hair is actually sealing down those cuticle layers. So yes, you are putting heat onto your hair, but obviously, hopefully you're not holding it onto your hair too long or using too high of a heat, because that would be bad. But if it's done properly, sealing that cuticle layer down is kind of that next step into what I had mentioned before, which was creating that environment where your hair can retain as much moisture as possible. So in my case, it's the curl cream, it's that product buffer plus the blow dry before I started wearing my hair curly that really helps seal down that cuticle layer and keep my hair looking shiny and healthy. And it's kind of like a cycle. The more that you keep your hair in that state, the easier it's going to be for it to stay that way. So just know at this point, if you're leaving a comment saying blow drying is bad for your hair, it still makes me mad, but it's more because you're 14 and don't know what you're talking about rather than you being just generally uneducated on the subject, because nobody's educated on everything, and especially hair. This is what I do, so this is why I know. But to that 14-year-old's credit, blow drying can be bad if you're doing it incorrectly. But I mean, water is pretty healthy, but it can still kill you if you submerge yourself in it and decide not to come up. So I'm trying to come up with more advice so I can make this video longer, but I mean, realistically, that's really what it comes down to, is just presenting your hair with an environment and a routine that is as optimized as possible for it to be able to retain moisture, because that's what dry hair is. It's the inability to retain moisture. And like I said, the best way to go about doing that is using some sort of product buffer. The types of products you should be using are going to depend completely on your hair type. And if you haven't seen my video on how to understand your hair type, but that's pretty much it, guys. I feel like this turned into more of a rant than a video, but I hope it's been helpful, because I know a lot of people have been struggling with dry hair and don't really know how to address it. But try implementing the concepts that I talked about in this video, and hopefully it works. If not, come back to this video in a couple months when I no longer care about what happens with this video, and leave an angry comment, because it'll be lost in the annals of Jesse's Barbershop video history. And last and best thing, guys, is to ask questions. And the best way to do that, if you are interested and resonate with my approach, is to join our free Discord server. It's the first link in the description below. We're building up a nice little community here. Guys are asking questions all the time. It's really, really cool. And if you're in the Discord already and you've been engaging with me and asking questions, you know who you are. So like I said, that's it, guys. I hope this helps. And now, if it has, I'm going to ask that you drop a like and you hit that subscribe button if you want to see more, because my previous videos are doing pretty well and the subscribers are kind of rolling in anyways, but we want to get that number up as high as possible so I can turn this into a real thing and focus more on this as opposed to not focusing on this. Also, real quick, product recommendations, because I have one in front of me. Bumble & Bumble Hairdresser Invisible Oil is solid, super light. Remember how I talked about oils kind of sitting in my hair and not really penetrating, but just kind of sitting on top? Invisible Oil does a really good job of penetrating and also is super light, so it doesn't give you that like oily, shiny look. Am I sponsored by these guys? No. Have I reached out to them? Yes. Have they responded? No. But that doesn't matter, because their stuff's good. And that's what this is all about, is giving you guys the best hair advice possible going forward. So anyways, we'll hopefully see you in the next video. Dun, 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 dun.